Apparently people like when I talk about fancy books that I own, based on what I talked about with some of my highest viewed videos of all time. So let's do it. Let's do a deep dive into all of my fancy premium special extra cool type books and jump right in. Hello and welcome to my channel. So in this video we'll take a look at all of the special books that I have and go through. So this includes some, as you can see from behind me, that are on the shelves. So you've probably seen and talked about, but I keep the bulk of like my fancier books actually in a different shelf that is not in the room that I film in. And so I've probably shown most of them at one point or another, but I figured, hey, why not? We'll take a look at them and just dive in and take a peek here. So starting with the ones that you've probably seen before, including by far my highest viewed video of all time, is these illustrated Farseer editions. Now, I absolutely love these. These are nice, quality, well-made books that also were like way more affordable than many to make. It has a nice naked hardcover, which I like. I know not everybody does, but also just has some very like premium paper pages. It's got these full color chapter pages as well as the illustrations that are throughout. Whenever I'm trying to flip through one of these to find, it's always hard. Really nice illustrations, nice paper, just generally feel great. You can check out that video too if you want to see more on those specifically, but I definitely love those. And then we have my Red Queen's War. This is from Grim Oaks Press. It is the whole trilogy. And this one doesn't have a full like naked hardcover, although it does have this nice design there. This is another one too. We're just feeling it. The dust jacket, the quality, every part of it just feels so just nice. And you can tell care went into this one as well. This does have a couple of like full pages to separate the different books, whatnot. But another one that's just really, really beautiful book that I quite love. We have the only thing I'll ever have from Broken Binding, which is Prince of Thorns. This is one of the nice, has the edges and all of this. This one makes me laugh because the text is huge to make it seem like it needs to be this size. This one, though, is signed as well, which granted, I think I forgot to mention that the Grim Oak one is also signed. Which is by Mark Lawrence, the illustrator and the designer, as well, a signed numbered copy. I think Prince of Thorns is just... Oh, no, it is signed numbered as well. So those are some really, really fancy ones. This is another one that's very pretty and has a very nice dust jacket, I will say, and then has some extra design on the naked hardcover, which gives it that black and white. So it is a very pretty book, although I just have regular hardcovers of the other ones. We have a pretty recent one on check out, which not the fanciest of the fancy, but the Barnes & Noble Dune. I really like these. These are pretty cheap. I got it during their like year, they're after Black Friday or holidays or whatever sale where it's buy one get one 50% off or whatnot, or just half off all hardcovers, I guess is what it is. So grab that as well. And then the last one that's on the shelf is this, which I actually got at a half price books. It's a Stark and Wormy Night by Tad Williams, and this is just absolutely beautiful. This is a signed copy as well, and this is like a short story collection, which I probably wouldn't have bought like actually brand new at the cost for this, but it is a beautiful, beautiful premium hardcover. It has this like textured page here. It just feels absolutely wonderful, and this is from, I think... I can't remember who actually printed this. I wanted to say Folio, but I don't know if it is. Subterranean Press, that's what it is. I'm like, I knew it wasn't Folio. So I was able to actually find this completely brand new when I was, not my half-price books locally, but when I was visiting Andrew. He's got a way better half-price books than I do. So those are the ones that are on the shelf normally that you can just see at any time, at least from the side. So let's jump into the other ones. I'd probably go into the Sanderons Leatherbounds because I have a fair few of those next. So for the Sanderons Leatherbounds, I do have up to Way of Kings with the ones that are released. So we have Elantris and Warbreaker. We have the much heavier Mistborn Era 1. And then the Way of Kings 2-volume in the slipcase. I didn't get Era 2, and I feel like I'm going to regret it because I just probably should have done it. Those ones don't have the same special place as the early ones. But these are all beautiful. Warbreaker, I did actually get not brand new. I got that one from it, but they're just very well made. And I will say that Sanderson's team has done just a fantastic, fantastic job with these, with the art. There's different art and just all kinds of notes, maps, all kinds of full color. Very premium pages. Just everything about this just screams quality. And this one's an unsigned one. I think depends on the other. See, this one even, this is one that I bought, somebody had already had. Still in really nice condition, that beautiful purple. And it has just the very, very vivid colors and everything here in the art. And then, yeah, this one is a signed numbered one as well because it was from the original printing. Gold has faded a little on this over time, but still pretty fantastic. I'm going to grab the first Mistborn just because it's the least heavy. But these as well, too, just look absolutely brand new. The colors, the gold foil inlay, everything about them. Once again, with this just stunning, I'm trying to be so careful, I can hear the spine cracking. I barely actually opened these. But the full color artwork from like the original covers, plus a lot more. And like, look at this, just, I'm being very careful, look at this map. It's just beautiful, beautiful map. There's so many things. Like I said, these are ones that I didn't initially get. I was able to thankfully get them when they went back on sale. And I was really glad because these are some beautiful, beautiful books. And then even like the slipcase for this one is just absolutely stunning. And these are another just absolutely beautiful books. Once again with the full art, both from the original covers and not, and just so much here. So these are beautiful. They're very expensive. They definitely, though, for someone like me, where you know it's something that's going into a collection. I don't buy a ton of books like this, and I slowly over time, I never got any of these in the original print, but over time I slowly went and got them all, and I don't regret it because they're beautiful books. I have other copies that I read. That's the problem. I don't know that I'd ever actually read these books, but because I don't want to damage them, but they're so beautiful to flip through and look at, and yeah, I still feel comfortable with the purchase. So next we'll look at the Barnes & Noble Leatherbounds, which I am actually a huge fan of because they're so cheap and they are really honestly nice books. I've had a couple of these for a long time, and I've definitely shown a couple, but my Eye of the World, which they unfortunately never did another printing of this, but I mean originally $25, and you can see this one's kind of older, but still really, really good condition. I love the art on this, and this is much, much cooler than what they did for like the anniversary edition. It's the book itself is pretty much the normal text. There's not like full color art or anything with it besides the normal map, but just a beautiful design, the nice leather bound here. And it's held up really well. And then I have this one, which I love the color scheme here. Another one where it was like $25. This one has like the sticker thing, which my Wheel of Time does too. I don't think they do those anymore. They still look pretty good, but that's the one thing that makes it maybe look like a little bit cheaper, but beautiful there as well. One of my favorites, and this one too, I bought... I think I bought this one online, not realizing it was going to come back in stock, and then it did, which is my Count of Monte Cristo. Absolutely beautiful book. Probably one of my favorite of these Barnes & Noble Leatherbounds. Once again, $25 if you get these new in store is usually what they are. They're probably going to go up if they haven't, but still like that price. And included like when they do the 50% off sale. I got a couple of these because of that, but absolutely stunning. Looks like a book that would cost way, way more, and so that's why I love them. I've also got Jurassic Park and The Lost World. Another one with the really nice red, white, just looks dynamic. Just has the feel of high quality as well. And then my newest ones, which I have not actually read yet, are the Divine Comedy. Because they do a lot of these like classics as well as other things in here. And then the Iliad and the Odyssey, which this is one of the plainer ones. But I actually kind of like it because it has that kind of like papyrus color, which just makes it feel like you're opening up this really old book, which I think is really cool. We have a couple that are my wife's as well, but I'll show them because they're pretty nifty, which includes a collection of Poe. Now, there are tons of really cool Poe collections. but this is a very nice one, which, once again, this one is probably, we've had for a long time, so you can see some scuffs here, but still really, really nice and holds up. And then, you guys probably know I'm not really a Stephen King fan, but they had this really cool one that I got for her, which is Carrie, the Shining in Salem's Lot. Once again, it was $25 or maybe $30 for this one, I think. And really, really just cool looking. And this one, I think, too, because of what it is, has that very, like, modern look as well, because it's not a classic. So they actually put a lot of thought into how they're doing them and how they're making them look. And just, once again, I have to give props to Barnes & Noble. I'm not like the most dedicated Barnes & Noble shopper or anything. It's not like they're paying me to say this, but their leather-bound books, for the price and the quality you get, you're not going to beat that anywhere. Alright, and then our last group is kind of a mixed bag of just either different cool things or special versions, some that are really fancy, some less so. But like we have this Sherlock Holmes collection, which I actually got this on Book Outlet crazy cheap. And it's got the slipcase. It's a pretty normal hardcover, but it is like the whole thing. I've just realized how incredibly tiny this text is. Even at this size, there's a lot to fit in here. But so this is pretty cool. It's got novels, short story anthologies, just a lot in here. And I actually got that crazy cheap. We have the beautiful, I know a lot of people have these, this illustrated Lord of the Rings with the pages. I actually got this at Costco of all places because they had it in their discount bins, and I was able to get it. Still not cheap, but a lot cheaper than it is buying it new. Most places it's got like the map that comes with it. So really, really, really cool. And definitely another one that I have other copies that I would probably read, but just flipping through this, seeing the illustrations and everything, beautiful, beautiful book. And then because I had that, also something I got actually this last year around the holidays, cheaper, I got this cool 75th anniversary of The Hobbit. This is a really nice version of The Hobbit. And I have like a, paperback version, which once again probably my reading copy. But this is just also just a really nice version. Got some art and everything in there as well. We have I keep this with the fancy books. This is probably like the lowest quality one I have here, but I don't know if you've seen the Flame Tree. They do a lot of these, and they're not super expensive, and they just look nice. So this is heroic fantasy short stories. There's all classics, new stuff in here. I did a reading out of this one time for a good one, but they look pretty nice. It's kind of like the faux, supposed to, I think, look like a leatherbound, where it's actually just normal hardcover, but still kind of fancy. I don't have any others of those, but they're kind of all over, and they do look very, very nice. We've got then my Ocean at the End of the Line Illustrated Edition. I love this book so much. Neil Gaiman has made me realize that illustrated editions actually can really add a lot, because I have it's a less fancy version, but my version of the Graveyard book has illustrations. But the way this book is designed, I love this book. You've probably heard me talk about it before. Just absolutely beautiful. And despite this actually being, once again, this is just like a normal, like, premium hardcover, I guess. It's not like leather, it's not fancy, but the care that went into this and just everything about it, I love this. Is one of my favorite books that I own. Going back to probably one of the older versions here of this slipcase, which is Sir Gawain and the Green Knight. And this, I believe, is actually, I always have it in upside down because this is the title, but it's actually apparently backwards. So I always put it in here wrong. But this one is a Folio Society from '83. And I found this actually like at a just general like thrift store antique place, which I thought was really cool. And then a couple other finds. This beauty at I found at a bookshop randomly also when my wife and I were out in a different state. This is a version of the Three Musketeers, and this is another one that's a bit older. Just feels wonderful. Has this like copper page in here, and this is an old Easton Press one. Which let me see if it says when it was printed. Looks like 78. Yeah, 1978 Easton Press version. And this has some illustrations in it. It has some, I think, annotations in it, but just an absolutely beautiful book. And the fact that this is so old, and I feel like you can feel the thickness of the leather. They don't make them like this anymore. And so it's got a scuff here, but just a absolutely stunning and beautiful book here. That is a prized part of the fancy book collection. And then I have this beautiful copy of the Decameron by Giovanni Boccaccio. And this actually was sent to me. Somebody was listing some books for sale, and I said I was interested, and they just sent it to me. And this is a beautiful, beautiful book as well. It's got like woodcut pictures as well. It's just nice, just the ink, the paper, the lining. I still need to read this one actually, but just a really, really beautiful book as well. And then the last couple are more like the coffee table books, which include the Annotated American Gods. I still want to go through and read this version of it, and this is just that, the really big hardcover, and it's very nice. But I got this also, I think, actually on Book Outlet, because this was like listed like $50. But this goes through the whole thing, has notes, annotations. It's a book that I really enjoyed, and I feel like being able to go through like that would be great. And then one that I absolutely love, didn't actually pay full price for this because I just had to have this, is the Princess Bride, this big coffee table kind of book with our edges here. And this just gives you that like classic storybook kind of feel. Just the whole book, reading through this, absolutely wonderful. It's got that old, it's got like kind of almost like papyrus page, the way it's colored to make it just feel like you're just opening up this old storybook. Really, really wonderfully done as well. So there you have it. That's me going over my entire collection of fancy premium books, all just kind of the special ones, many of which don't live in my office here where I film. So let me know too what your favorites are out here. What are your favorite of what you have? Do you have some of these? Do you have some other ones? What are your prized like book collections? So I know there's a ton of you who are collectors like me and have stuff, so definitely let me know. They're always happy to see. And of course, if you want to share pictures, make sure you join the Discord, the Wizardly Duo Discord, so that you can share pictures there, since you can't do that in the comments. But always love to chat and just see pretty books. It's always fun. Like looking at books and collecting books are just as much a hobby as reading books, to be fair. But that's it for this one. Make sure to give the video a like if you enjoyed it. Once again, check the link in the description as always for the Wizardly Duo Discord if you want to chat books, whether these books, other books, any books, really anything at all. It is a lot of fun and we'd love to have you. And of course, if you enjoy my content, make sure to subscribe.